you? Welcome to episode 14 of the LightySportsPod. If you guys have been enjoying our content, give it a like, a subscribe, ask some questions in the comments or in my DMs. I'm also hoping to get some more posts up on Instagram this week. I've been kind of lacking the last couple of weeks. It's been a bit busy, but we'll get some more up there. So we'll probably do some clips of this video, and I'll do some like graphics or whatever on Canva.
Thumbs up, thumbs up, like.
Give it a like. So I thought today we didn't have any questions because I didn't post anything about asking questions. I usually do like a little reminder thing, but I didn't. So today I decided we do a couple like MLB games almost. So the first one, it's like a panic game where we're gonna talk with the players that are off to a tough start, that used to be stars or are still currently considered stars. And whether or not like how high on the panic meter we gotta worry. And then second game's gonna be like a making it or faking it game with like the teams that people think are maybe pretenders that are off to good starts and whatnot. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And then I think at the end we'll do like a little fantasy update between us and how we're doing in our fantasy league.
Should we not start with that?
No, we'll do that at the end. So the first game, we got the panic game. So there's been some players that are off to really bad starts. Some of them not expected, some of them maybe are. First one that comes to my mind is Kevin Gausman, starting pitcher for the Blue Jays. Been a superstar for numerous years now. Always the epitome of consistency. You know what I mean? He's consistent year in year out. Always up there for Cy Young votes and whatnot. But heading into last night's game, so these stats don't include last night, but heading into last night's game, he had a 9.53 ERA. His velocity was a little down his first two outings, but it was back up last night. But he got lit up again, even with the velocity increase last night. So that's a little bit concerning. As far as the rating goes, low, medium, high panic, I'm gonna go with medium, moderate panic mode for me. Just because I think he'll figure it out because he had a late spring, and I think that might have plagued him a little bit, not helping with his location because he didn't have the whole spring training to work on it. Velocity was down, like I said, the first two starts because he was late for spring training.
Yeah, why was he late though?
Well, because he over exuded himself with a weighted ball throwing, and then he hurt his arm a little bit, got his arm a little bit fatigued.
Why would you change your routine coming in spring though?
I think he usually does that, to be honest with you, but I think he maybe like heightened it a little bit too much. And he is a guy too, like he has said openly, like usually his first two starts of the regular season, his velocity is down anyways, because his velocity goes down, he finds when he's pitching in the cold, and he sometimes does it at the beginning of the season anyways to save up his arm for later in the year. So the first two games, as far as the velocity goes, I'm not overly concerned about that. I'm more concerned now that last night he gave up 6 more runs in like 4 innings, and his velocity was up. That to me means he's not hitting his zones, his spots. Maybe and I like he still had a really high whiff rate last night on his splitter, but when they were getting hit, they were getting hit hard. So I think it's something that we need to monitor because I think he'll get it going because of the late spring. I think that's like the reason why he started off so slow, but he's also 33 years old. He's getting a little older, and that's usually when pitchers tend to decline a little bit. So,
well, the splitter's his pitch, right? If he's not locating that or hitting that, he's not gonna get out. It's like he led the American League last year in strikeouts.
Yeah.
Right. So he's a strikeout pitcher, and I know I mentioned this a couple of months ago, or I don't know, maybe it was back in January, maybe February, I don't remember, one of the pods. I knew a member of the Jays pitching staff was going to be struggling this year, just based off the amount of innings, and Gaz is one of them, right? He's I don't know, I think he hit 190, 200 last year, and he struck out 255 guys. So, one of those arms is going to just based off wear and tear from the previous season, but I'm not worried about him.
No, I'm not overly worried about him. I think just because of the age, it's a little bit of a concern because he is 33 years old. And the thing with Gausman too is usually, like, even if he's not getting strikeouts, he does generate weak contact with his splitter. But yesterday, even though he was getting the whiff rate on this splitter, when they were hitting it, it was coming out hard, which is a little bit concerning. The one that I noted in my head last night, he threw it was a really good splitter to Ryan McMahon. It was like at his ankles, and he ripped it into right field for a double, and it came off his bat at 100 miles per hour. But look-wise, the pitch looked like a good pitch. But usually his splitter doesn't get touched up at 100 miles per hour. Like that's a bit of an oddity.
Guys gave up a lot of home runs last year, and a lot of those home runs he gave last year were solos.
Yeah,
right?
He gives up a lot of solo shots.
Not multi, right? So, but
that's part of his. It's not part of his plan. Like, you never want to give up home runs, but I think he's more aggressive when there's no one on base. And if he gives up a solo home run, he's not mad about it, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine with solo home runs as long as you're not giving them up when you're on base, when people are on base. And he right now the command isn't there. Like, he's not hitting the location he needs to. I think that's why he's getting kind of pieced up right now. But I think that'll change. Next one, we got Nolan Arenado, third baseman for the Cardinals. I'm pretty concerned about him. So far right now, he hasn't had any home runs to start the year in 2 weeks. His bat speed looks really, really slow. He just doesn't look like the same guy that he was. He was a perennial all-star, perennial Gold Glover. Obviously, like, he still has the glove. I'm sure. I haven't watched a ton of his games this year. I'm sure he still has the glove.
He does.
Didn't look into. I saw through 2 weeks he does have a negative WAR, which to me maybe means maybe his glove hasn't been as good this year as usual. But to me, like, the thing that's scary is just his lack of bat speed. So I'm gonna put this as a high panic. I know it's early in the year, but he's 32 years old. That's that's around an age where you'll see bats kind of slow down as well. And bat speed is always the biggest, like, the first thing that players usually lose as they age, I would say.
Well, his numbers second half last year were awful. Like, his bat speed was down immensely last year in the second half.
Yeah.
So I'm not shocked. By the way, he did hit a home run last night.
Oh, did he hit one last night?
He did hit one last night. But this is Saturday morning, so just so you know, it's Friday night. He hit one. Nice shot too. Just so you know, he pulled it. He had to pull it to get it out. But he doesn't look right.
Yeah, my panic meter on him is high. Like, he might even, like, maybe he's been injured since the middle of last year or something. Because he seems like kind of the guy. He seems like the kind of guy that if he was injured, he would play through it and maybe not tell anybody.
No,
he's always kind of been a competitive guy like that.
He even changed his style in the off season. Apparently, he did more kind of core yoga, kind of Pilates, like, more on the
He also always had, like, a closed off stance. I wonder if at his age, opening it up a little bit, well, maybe he'll be able to pull the ball a little bit better with bat speed, right? Because right now, like, his closed off stance, if he's not hitting the ball, like, or swinging through it fast enough, it's just gonna be pop outs to right field.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna be hitting it the other way rather than pulling it.
Yeah, it needs to work on his bat speed.
Like, yeah, I think so.
Like, Goldie also, like, Goldschmidt, is also not having a very good start of the season, but his bat speed's still up there.
Yeah, Paul Goldschmidt's still good, I think.
I'm not worried about Goldschmidt at all. Like, Goldie's he didn't hit one last night, but, I'm not worried about Goldie at all. But the pair of them, they're 3-4 in that lineup, and neither one of them are hitting. Actually, most of that Cardinal team is not hitting.
Yeah, tell me about it. I have Nolan Gorman in a fantasy league. Brendan Donovan's actually been doing well. Gorman's hitting for power, but he hits like 200.
Oh yeah, the only one that's hitting is the backup catcher there.
Brendan Donovan's hitting really well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's hitting around 300. He's got 2 home runs.
The Walker kid's not hitting. Newbar, he came back.
Lars Newbar.
He came back last night. He hit a home run.
Yeah.
But that backup catcher's got like 3 or 4 home
Ivan
runs.
Herrera.
Yeah, he's got 3 or 4 home runs already.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about Nolan Arenado too. If you have him in any fantasy league, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Next one here. What a fall this guy had. Chris Bryant, outfield / third base / first base, whatever position he plays these days, for the Colorado Rockies. So going into last night, he went 2 for 5. So I'm not including those stats. I did watch that game. He went 2 for 5, had a couple RBIs, whatever.
First RBI of the year.
Yeah, so going into last night, he started the year 4 for 40. So he was batting 100 after 40 at bats, which is a big yikes. Like, to me, batting average isn't the end all be all. I typically look at OBP and OPS more because I think it's more like useful to judge a player, like how much they get on base. Batting average to me, I don't really care that much about anymore, but it is like something to care about when it's a 100 batting average. You know what I mean? Like if the guy's hitting 230 with a OBP of 340, I'm not mad at that. That's really good. I'm happy with that. But if you're hitting 100, like your batting average is 100, I have to talk about it. That's embarrassing. That's really bad, especially for a former MVP, former Rookie of the Year, 4-time All-Star, and former World Series champ. And he might have been the World Series MVP that year. I can't remember. I don't think he was, actually. But
no, I think the other guy had Baez got it, I think. Maybe not. I don't
it
remember.
might have been Baez. It might have been a pitcher even.
Hendricks, maybe.
Yeah, it might have been Hendricks. But either way, this panic level is high, like scorching high, very, very high. Even playing in the home run park that is Colorado, I don't think he's going to have a very good year because I think the recent back injuries he sustained the last couple of years have taken a toll on his body, and I don't like he's 32 years old, but he's playing like he's 38, and I think that'll continue unless he somehow miraculously like his back comes back. I don't know. Like ever since his back injury, his bat speed is way down. He's not barreling up balls like.
He had a foot problem last year, right? Like plantar fasciitis or whatever.
Yeah, but he hasn't been right since like 2 years ago when he sustained the back injury.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
His back, he had a bad back. Like his back was really, really
so
bad.
So who do you think? So, who do you think's Brian contract was big contract, by the way. I think it was what, 227 years, 220 million, 7 years, something like that.
I don't think he got into the 200s.
No,
I don't think he got into the 200s. I'm pretty sure he took a discount to go like home because he's from Nevada, which is right next door to Colorado. That was the team he grew up cheering for.
Yeah. But who do you think's worst contract then? Bryant, Javier Baez, Carlos Correa in Minnesota, or who? Because I think all three of those contracts are awful. I think Javier's contract's worse than Chris Bryant.
So this is it depends on what you value. For me, like Chris Bryant's like not a great defender anymore, and he's not hitting. But I don't think he got paid as much as you said. I'm pretty sure he got paid like $7,145 or something.
I think he's higher than that.
I don't know. I'll double check. But Javier Baez, he can't hit at all, but at least he brings really, really good defense most of the time. And then Carlos Correa, he's not hitting, but he's also an elite defender. Like I would take Carlos Correa on my team. Obviously not at that contract, but like he's still a good player.
So you're saying Chris Bryant's the worst contract of the three?
At this point, yeah. Like I'll have to double check his salary because if his salary is not like that bad, like it's whatever. And Colorado has so much money to play with too. Like it doesn't
I think Javier Baez contract's worse than Chris Bryant's, but that's just my take.
So Chris Bryant got 7 years, 182.
Oh,
which isn't that bad. I'm pretty sure Javi Baez has a quite a worse.
No, I think his is probably the same.
I think
very close.
I thought he got paid 200. He got he got 6 years, 140. Yeah, no, Chris Bryant's got the worst. Yeah, Chris Bryant right now has the worst. So far this year, it's only been 2 weeks. Javier Baez has a negative 0.3 WAR, and Chris Bryant has a negative 0.4 WAR. So they're both doing equally bad, but at least Javier brings some defense, I guess.
Actually, I take it back. Steven Strasburg, who just retired.
Yeah, that doesn't count. He's not even a player anymore.
What did he get after winning the World Series?
He got a lot.
He got a lot, and then he only did like 4 starts after that.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh man.
But
the Nats are still paying for that.
A slight change of topic, quickly in the middle of the panic game. Steven Strasburg, like as much hype as Jackson Holiday's gotten as like a debut, everybody was talking, oh my god, this 20-year-old kid, Jackson Holiday, going to be the next star or whatever. I don't think anyone coming out of college or like ever got as much draft hype and MLB hype as Steven Strasburg did when he debuted.
Pitchers, for sure.
When he debuted, like his first start, nobody stopped talking about it for like, I swear to God, it felt like months. Whereas like Jackson Holiday, he's getting the hype that he deserves. He's off to a really bad start. 7 Ks and 11 at-bats is a little scary. But like nobody coming out of college, coming to the show ever got that hype that Steven Strasburg and then Bryce Harper got. Those two guys, especially playing for the same team, the hype they got coming up through the minors, I had never seen anything like it.
I totally agree, and maybe it's just a marketing thing too. But Strasburg, when he came up, like everyone.
If you look at his college numbers, like it's actually psychotic. This guy was the greatest college pitcher of all time by far, far. And Paul Skeens had like an ERA under 1 last year or something crazy. And Strasburg's numbers were better. Like it's nuts. Like it's crazy.
Paul Skeens is like Strasburg though.
Yeah, very similar. I think he kind of looks a little bit more like Garrett Cole to me than Steven Strasburg.
No, technically,
like his ball path just looks a lot more like Garrett Cole.
It's just his whole motion on that, like his whole pitching motion is so Strasburg. Yeah. It's technically just sound. If you ever want to just show Strasburg and
Paul Skeens.
Paul Skeens, the motion that's how you teach a kid how to pitch.
Yeah, it's too bad that Strasburg's arm blew up.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Are we panicking here? Ronald Acuna Jr. outfielder for the Braves. I'm not panicking. So the stats so far this year.
Seriously?
His on-base percentage is actually really good. It's .353, so he's walking a lot, which is good. That means he's seeing the ball well. But his batting average .233. I said earlier, I don't really care about that. That's not a big deal. What I'm worried about is that he has no home runs through 2 weeks, and he's slugging .279 after hitting 40 home runs last year. But the panic level is like as low as it can be. Like this guy's a superstar, was a MVP, first ever guy to hit 40 home runs and steal 70 bases. He's gonna be all right. He's gonna be great this week.
They're in Miami this weekend, and I would put money on him to hit a home run. And that's a big ballpark.
Yeah, it's gonna come. It's just a slow start.
I'm gonna put money on it this afternoon. Just that
it happens. Everybody gets off to slow starts sometimes. I'm pretty sure Acuna is notorious for like the first 2-3 weeks. He's usually a little slow. I don't think he came out of the gates last year that hot either.
His brother's quick.
I couldn't remember Luis Angel.
Oh wow,
yeah, he's gonna be a good hitter too.
I saw a promo. I was watching the Mets game. They showed him in a minor league game. His first to home speed was like outstanding. Like wow, like okay, yeah, he's gonna be just like his brother.
Yeah, I don't think
he plays in the middle though.
I don't think he's gonna be like his brother.
Not the home run.
I don't think he'll have the power, even the batting average. He'll have the speed.
Yeah, he's definitely got speed.
Yeah. All right. Off to our next little game, I guess here.
No one else?
No. I did 4. I didn't think we.
Well, I guess you could have keep going, right? Like Trey Turner doesn't have a home run yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are struggling.
You know,
like there's a lot of guys that are off to slow starts. Making it or faking it game. So teams are off to surprisingly hot starts. Do we think that this is actually going to stay the course? Do we think they'll make the playoffs, or are they faking it? Are they frauds? Are they they're not gonna be good, kind of thing. So first team I want to touch on, the Detroit Tigers. They're off to an 8-4 start. Very good. I'm gonna say making it, only because I think that division is so up for grabs. I think Detroit, Cleveland, Kansas City are kind of all on the same level. It could go any way there. All 3 of those teams, I think, could come out winning that division.
I got KC making it, Detroit 2, Cleveland faking it now.
Oh, I don't think I think all 3 of those teams are so equal, honestly. Like I know it's only been 2 weeks and it's hard to judge. One of these teams will probably falter off, but just by looking at them, watching them play, looking at their roster construction, I feel like all 3 of these teams could be like 82 and 82 teams. You know what I mean? Does that math is wrong? That's 164, 81 and 81 teams.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of KC games so far this year. They're really good.
Their offense looks really good.
Yeah,
actually.
and their pitching is just solid. Like
they
don't strike out a lot, but they're competitive.
I think KC's solid too. They are 3rd in that division right now.
Seriously?
Yeah, the Guardians and Detroit are better.
Wow.
Yeah. So I
look at the standings. I'm shocked.
No, I think all 3 of those teams are pretty solid. I do. But just the way that Detroit seems to be playing, like I've watched quite a few of their games too, just because I have some stocks in fantasy. Their starting pitching outside of Tarek Skubal has not been great.
They'll come around though.
But they're pretty young. I think they could come around. Like Reese Olson, looks kind of good. Casey Mize is going to be good. Kenta Maeda was lit up his first couple of games, but I think like they have the structure there. I really like their bullpen. I love Jason Foley, I love Shelby Miller, and I love Alec Lang. I think that's a really good three-headed monster at the back of their pen.
I like the lefty there too.
Andrew Chafin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but this is the thing with him. Every second year he sucks. Last year his numbers were terrible. The year before they were amazing. The year before that they were terrible.
He looks like a guy you go have a beer with.
Oh yeah, he definitely does with the big handlebars.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then as far as the lineup goes, they're young, but I do like the core. I don't know if they're going to take the next step to make it this year, even though I'm putting them down right now as making it. I think those three, like I said, those three teams are pretty equal. But the core of Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, Kerry Carpenter, and Colt Keith is a pretty good looking lineup.
How's Keith doing this year?
Not great. I think he was batting low 200s. His OBP's a little bit down, but I think he'll get going maybe in the second half. He's a rookie first couple of weeks of the year.
Playing second base too, right?
Second and third. Like the days Gio Urshela's not playing, he slides over to third, I think. Ursula's actually off to a really good start.
I like what's his face there, Canna?
Oh, Mark Hanna's playing really well too, but he's also older.
Oh,
he's older. It's good to have a mix of young and
he's
old.
a hitter.
Yeah, he is. He mashes lefties. He's mad against righties, but he mashes lefties.
Like and he's I know he's a veteran. He's showing these he hustles.
Oh yeah. They have like other guys too, like Parker Meadows is bright and upcoming.
Did Kerry Carpenter make the team?
Yeah. Well, he had an amazing year last year. He had almost 30 bombs last year. So I think just because of the division, I think that Detroit could sneak in there. I think they could win that division. It's a winnable division, I would say.
Like a Cleveland, KC, and Minnesota there.
Yeah, I know. I think all of those teams are pretty on par. I think it could go anyway.
I'm still staying with my Kansas City Royals.
So you're saying faking it for the Tigers?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Next, we'll go with the LA Angels. They're off to a 7-6 start. That doesn't sound great, but they're actually surprisingly at the top of their division right now, or maybe second after last night. I can't remember.
They won last
night. But they are faking it. I don't think this is a very good team at all, actually. I think they're pretty terrible. Trout is off to Mike Trout, former MVP, obviously, one of the greatest baseball players of all time. He's off to an amazing start.
6 home runs already.
Yeah, he's already got 6 home runs, but he only has 8 RBIs. So he's literally hit, I'm pretty sure 6 of them were 6 solo shots. He started the year off with 6 solo home runs, which means his teammates can't get on base, which is a recipe for disaster. I don't think that team's going to be very good because of that. Outside of Mike Trout, Taylor Ward's all right, but Drury's all right. They don't have anybody that I would consider amazing to go along with him. So that offense isn't going to be good.
Neither is pitching.
And they're pitching outside of Reed Detmers, who looks phenomenally at 12 Ks last week. Their rotation sucks. Their bullpen pretty meh. Carlos Estevez is all right, I guess.
I agree. They're faking it.
I don't think they're very good.
They're gonna fall. Seattle's still the class of that West. And he'll say Texas, I know.
I hate Texas, too. I hate saying it because Blue Jays had a big rivalry with Texas back in the day, 2017, 2018. But Seattle looks awful, and the Rangers they won the World Series last year. Until I give them a month. If a month in the Rangers are bad or something, sure, I'll concede. I'll say Mariners, maybe the Astros, whatever.
I'll never say Astros.
I hate the Astros. But, if you win a World Series the next year, to me, you should automatically be a favorite until proven otherwise.
I understand.
Third, we got the Milwaukee Brewers. They're 9-3.
Are they really? Wow.
They are 9-3. Look, I'm gonna say faking it too.
Oh, all right. Okay, good.
I am. But Milwaukee seems to always kind of make more out of less.
Oh,
they do.
Wow.
I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, but every year you look at their rotation the last few years outside of Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff, and Peralta, I guess, but the 4 and 5 guys are always pretty meh. Their lineup is always on paper looks pretty meh, but they're always competitive. So I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they could be close to 500 team, even with how weak their rotation and depth looks, because Milwaukee is just always known for making things happen. The lineup, Christian Yelich is absolutely scorching. He looks like MVP Christian Yelich again.
He has a bad back, though. Eventually he'll come back.
Yeah, but it'll take it while it's hot, keep it going. The lineup outside of Christian Yelich is actually pretty good. Like Willie Adames, William Contreras, Jackson Chourio, Rhys Hoskins. You have some bats there. And then pitching depth to me is a big concern. You don't really have very many nameable guys in that rotation. But Milwaukee always seems to kind of be a pitching machine. They usually develop their pitchers really well, and you get some guys that you don't expect to come out and be good. Like Freddie Peralta, when he got called up, he wasn't a known commodity in the minor leagues. Like he wasn't a top end prospect, and he came up and he started striking out everybody. You know what I mean? Like they're a pitching factory. They've always have been.
Well, 6 of their wins are by 1 run.
Yeah. So I like I said, I think they're faking it. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Because that kid has.
But they are
in the NL in saves right now, right?
Abner Uribe. Yeah. He's also got a bit of a high ERA, kind of high everything. But
they're going to finish last.
I do not think they're going to finish last. I think they might surprise people. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be better than what we were anticipating.
Pittsburgh will be better.
I think Pittsburgh will be better too. I'm actually a little worried about Cincinnati.
Cincinnati will be better.
I'm a little worried about Cincinnati. I do think Pittsburgh's going to be better too. I think all of those teams in that division over time. Like
Cubs will be better than them. St. Louis will be better.
I think St. Louis is going to finish last in that division now. I honestly do. I think St. Louis is going to finish last in that division now. Their pitching is too old. I think Milwaukee is going to be a slight surprise. I would say right now, I would have Milwaukee as 4th in that division, so I'm going to say faking it.
They're faking it.
But, it's just something to think about. Milwaukee usually does pretty well for what they have.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Have you seen the Jackson Chourio kid yet? He's pretty good.
He's not hitting great to start his career, but he's fun. He's got flashes.
Yeah. Which Jackson's going to be better, I wonder.
Jackson Holiday. I'm only saying that because I have him in fantasy league. So next we got the Pittsburgh Pirates. They're also 10-4. Brewers were 9-3. Pittsburgh's 10-4. I want to say making it.
Yes.
But they're faking it this year. Only this year. I think they will be really good next year. They started off really hot last year, and then they faltered off down the stretch. I think that's going to be the same.
What's their record right now?
10-4.
They're ahead of Milwaukee.
Well, they've got an perfectly even win percentage, 10-4, 9-3. There's 2 games in hand.
I'm telling you right now, Pittsburgh will be ahead of Milwaukee.
I think Pittsburgh will be too. I think Pittsburgh is.
I don't think they're faking
I think Pittsburgh is 3rd in that division, but I don't think they make the playoffs.
I don't think they're faking it.
So you think that they're going to make the playoffs?
No.
Well, that's what this game is faking it or making it. So if they're not making the playoffs,
they're okay. Yeah, no, they're not making it.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so then they're faking it. So I want to say that they're making it, but they are faking it this year. They're not going to make the playoffs this season. Next year, I think they make the playoffs. I think they make the playoffs next year.
I don't think any of your teams the LA's not going to make it.
I think Detroit is going to make it. I said faking it for LA. I said faking it for Milwaukee. I don't think either of those teams are going to make it.
Going to win.
I think Detroit could make it. I think that there's 3 or 4 teams in that division.
Only one team's going to make it.
I know, and I think Detroit has a good chance. I think that they're as good as the other 3 teams in that division that are competing. The White Sox are out of it.
Yeah,
Pirates,
I think Detroit will finish.
Pirates are going to finish 3rd in that division, in my opinion, which means that they are faking it. I don't have them making the playoffs, but they're on the way. Next year they could make it. Maybe the year after, they're getting there. I think that they're getting there. They have a good mix of young and old in the lineup. O'Neal Cruz is really fun to watch.
They'll be over 500.
I think that they're going to be an 81, 83, and 82, 80 team. They're going to be close. I like O'Neal Cruz. He's fun to watch. Brian Reynolds is always really solid. So is Brian Hayes. And then you have good leaders mixed in there with Andrew McCutchen and Connor Joe. So I like what they've built there. Connor Joe, by the way, if you guys haven't heard his story, it's really cool. I would check him out. He overcame cancer and thriving in the MLB, doing good stuff.
How's Rowdy doing? Rowdy Tellez.
I don't
the
know.
Best name in baseball.
I don't think he's doing like great as a hit from a hitting standpoint.
Because Connor Joe is playing first base.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing great. Connor Joe plays the outfield too, though. But I don't think Rowdy's doing great from a hitting perspective. But I really like what he did the other day, standing up to the media when they were when fans and everybody were booing David Bednar. David Bednar so David Bednar was like getting interview questions, and Rowdy Tellez butted in, put his arm around him, and said, like, the real fans don't boo. Like, our closing pitcher. This guy's been elite for multiple years. He's coming off an oblique injury that slowed down his spring training. Take it easy on him. Like, Rowdy's a good teammate. That's good leadership. Good leadership there.
Best name in baseball.
Yeah.
Rowdy Tellez.
So as far as the rotation goes, Jared Jones looks filthy. I know his ERA is 4, but he's also he's K'd 25 guys in 18 innings.
Won't last.
I think it will. He always had elite K numbers in the minors, and his stuff just looks phenomenal. He was great against the Phillies the other night. I know he ended up giving up 3 runs in 6 innings. I think he gave up all 3 in the 6th inning or whatever. But he looked so good up until that point. I really like his stuff.
Got good flow too.
Yeah, he does. And then a good mix of young and old also in the rotation. So Mitch Keller's he's off to a bit of a slow start, but I think he'll be solid.
Mitch Keller's
and Martin Perez has been really good to start this year. He has, and that's a good leader to have in your rotation. He's a good older guy. He'll throw some innings. He'll get you the innings that you need.
How many Ks does Mitch have?
But they don't have enough depth, in my opinion.
How many Ks does Mitch have so far? Sure, do you know? Is he first in the NL in strikeouts?
No, I know his ERA is around 6.
He's got to be up there, especially with Spencer Strider being out for the year now. Keller might finish first in Ks.
He's got 17 Ks in 17 innings. He only had K per 9. He has his career strikeout numbers are not very good.
Oh, he had a great last year.
No, he averaged 1 K per inning.
Oh, okay.
9 K per 9.
All right, my bad. I thought it was higher than that.
Well, it was 9.7 K per 9. So he had 210 strikeouts and 194 innings.
Well, who do you think is going to be the top K guy in the NL now? It's Spencer Strider's out. Might be Mitch Keller.
If he gets the innings and doesn't get hurt, it's Tyler Glass now.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Glass.
Nobody's catching him if he stays healthy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, he's gonna average like 14 Ks a game. I'm not even kidding. He's nuts.
Yeah. True. Very true.
So yeah, Pittsburgh, they're not making it this year, but I think they're gonna make it next year. As I said, pitching just doesn't have enough depth. I like the lineup though.
Yeah, they're not making the playoffs.
I think David Bednar will figure it out and add some.
Oh, I'm not worried about David Bednar. It's 2 weeks into the year. Come on.
Yeah, and he also had a slow start to spring, just like Kevin
Gauss.
did.
He was hurt, right? Oblique. Like you think?
I think it was just oblique.
So
I think so. Yeah.
Big boy though.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
big
he
boy.
is.
What's he weighing? What? 250? 280?
No, he's not that big.
Oh, he's pretty hefty.
There's no way.
He's pretty hefty.
All right, I need to confirm this. He is
260.
What's his listed weight? His listed weight is
big boy.
He's listed at 225.
Oh, I don't believe that.
That's what he's listed at.
Yeah, okay.
That's
sure.
That's what he's listed at.
Sure. And I'm 165.
So yeah, just to summarize, I guess. I have Detroit making it, and then the other 3 teams, Angels, Brewers, Pirates, aren't going to make it this year, but Pirates are on the rise, so look out for them next year. We'll do a little fantasy baseball update, I guess. So you're doing great. I think you're 5th or 6th out of 22. I am currently 22 out of 22. We're off to a bad start.
You won't finish last, I can tell you that.
No, honestly,
your team's actually
my team is really good. I've had some really, really bad starts this season from Kevin Gausman, as I mentioned earlier. Have some injury problems. I wasn't expecting Max Kepler to hit .50 in his first 20 at-bats and then hit the IL with an oblique or whatever it was he hurt. And then Brandon Lau got hurt. I have Gavin Williams and Kodai Senga both on the IL. So eventually things are going to, I think, turn around for me. And I've done really well in this league the last 3 years straight. So if I finish last, I'll be really, really upset. But it is what it is.
I'm in 5th, 4th, 3rd, 6. I don't know. I haven't looked. All I know is I got 4 guys on the IR that are coming back. They're going to make my team even better. Walker Bueller's coming back.
Yeah, not until after the All-Star game, probably.
No, he pitched last night.
He had a rehab outing?
Yes.
Oh,
He's
no
had
way.
2 in a row. He's coming back next week.
Oh, what the heck? I thought he was out till mid-season.
Sonny Gray just came back.
I don't like Sonny Gray.
Doesn't matter. Just came back.
Won't get you any wins. Loser team in St. Louis. Bad team.
I don't know. I got 3 or 4 guys in the IR, and I intentionally drafted them. I got Jacob DeGrom. I know he's not coming back to All-Star break. Whatever.
He might not come back ever again, man. He's old.
Oh, whatever.
He is old. I'm not wrong.
Dude.
Coming off of how many injuries now?
I'm in top 5 right now.
You are, I know. But hey, keep in mind, I also have
Trey
injuries.
Turner hasn't even hit a home run yet for me.
I also have injuries coming back. Next week, I got Gavin Williams coming back. On a month
My
from
pitching
now,
is phenomenal. I got an ERA of 1. My whip is under 1. And I've got...
Your ERA is not 1.
Look. I think I got like 14 steals. And that's without Trey even running yet. So... Once I get my pop,
here,
I need a little bit of pop.
I'll do a full fantasy update here. How about that? Okay.
What do
you slid. Woohoo!
Well, what? I thought it was 4th yesterday.
You are now in 9th.
Oh, well.
I'm not last anymore.
Steven
Let's go. I'm 21st. Nice.
I'm 22.
Yeah.
You're proud of that.
Better than being 22nd. I was 22nd yesterday. Okay.
I had Steven Matz pitch last
Here,
night.
let's do a compare. This will be fun. Let's do a stat comparison per team. Well, you're obviously gonna have the way better stats anyways.
My ERA, whip,
You'll
saves, wins.
So right now,
my batting average.
Your batting average is 2nd last in the league. You're hitting 212.
Yeah.
My batting average is 3rd last in the league. I'm hitting 215. Your home runs are 11th. You have 16 home runs. My home runs are 11th. I have 16 home runs.
I haven't even got anyone hitting home runs yet.
Yeah, I haven't either. My team's hitting like crap. It's terrible. RBIs, you are in 13th with 64. I am in 20th with 55. Your runs, Yeah, your runs, you are in 11th and I am in 18th. Stolen bases.
I got to be way up there.
You're in 1st in stolen bases, which is real good. I am... I'm dead last in stolen. I have stolen 2 bases so far this year. You've stolen 20. Jesus, that's terrible.
You don't know how to draft.
Yeah, I do, man. It's just, I didn't get many steals on this team, I guess. I am 14th in Ks. You're dead last in Ks.
I don't have, all my pitchers are not strikeout pitchers.
You're 2nd in ERA, by the way. Your ERA is 197, not under 1.
Whatever.
Your whip is 10th. You have a 121 whip.
Oh, okay. So that means I must have had 2 pitchers get
lit up last night by the looks of it.
Well, Tanner got lit up.
So you see, I'm in second last.
I had 2 pitchers get lit up last night.
I'm second last in ERA. On paper, I don't care what anybody says. I have the best pitching in this league.
Steven Matz must got lit up too.
But Kevin Gausman is killing me. I'm second last in ERA. I'm 17th in WHIP. I am 9th in wins. You are 7th in wins. You have 7 wins. I have 5.
Oh.
And then we both each have 4 saves, so we're both 6th in saves. But yeah, no, for me, it's my ERA, my WHIP, and my steals are killing me. But my ERA and my WHIP is going to be way better once I get my boys back healthy and pitching right.
And your steals are going to be nowhere.
Yeah, I kind of punted steals. I won't lie. That's the only, because steals at the draft are too expensive. I have, I'm hoping Witt steals me some bases. Eduardo Olivares had a lot of steals last year. So did Dalton Varsho. I'm hoping I get enough steals from those 3 to just be in the bottom quarter, just barely out of the bottom quarter. If I'm middle of the pack in steals and at the top and everything else, I'm happy. And that's what I was kind of planning, because in the draft, you can get some bum that literally only steals bases and they'll go for $20 because steals are so coveted for whatever reason. And I was punting them. This was my theory. I was slightly punting them because everybody steals now. In MLB, literally, you're stealing almost every pitch because of the pitch clock. the amount of times you can pick off over. So everybody's going to have inflated stolen base numbers anyways, and I was hoping my guys would steal a little bit more, even though that they're not known as base stealers. I thought it would compensate enough. I don't know.
You gonna give me any, like, first time back in this pool?
I have given you credit. I literally said
7 years, and I'm in the top 5.
No, you're not. You're ninth.
Well, I was in the top 5 last night.
Okay, you're not anymore.
I had 2 pitchers get lit up yesterday.
I would have to look, but
I know Tanner and Steven Matz.
I had my boys last night got lit up too. I had Gosman and Yamamoto, so yeah. So you're doing better in fantasy than I am, and I've already acknowledged that. Whatever. Moving on tonight. Stay tuned. Y'all should be watching this. Starts at 6 p.m. UFC. 6 p.m. start. UFC 300 for all y'all MMA fans out there. If you guys want to chat about it, hit me up. I'm open to talk about it during the fights too. But the card's loaded. 6 o'clock, the very first fight. It's an early prelim. 2 former champs are going at it. So you're going to want to watch this one. That's all I'm saying.
Vegas?
Vegas, I think, yeah.
Do they still do it? I know it's a big one because it's 300, so they're probably in the arena. But they used to do it all the time in MGM.
Yes, I think it will be at the MGM.
Is it MGM?
But the free fight nights and stuff, they do it at the Apex in Vegas where there's no fans and stuff. So I thought that was maybe what you're asking about, but it's so the free fight nights, they don't really have crowds. It's like trainers, other fighters watching, etc.
Have they done in the arena where the Golden Knights play? Haven't they?
Yeah, T-Mobile. Yeah,
T-Mobile.
They've done quite a few. They've done quite a few pay-per-views there. It might be there. It might be at MGM. I can't remember, but I think it's in Vegas. Don't quote that on me. Yeah. But 300, it should be in Vegas. Like that's the biggest MMA place probably there is.
Congrats, Cody Rhodes. Nice work.
Finish the story. Yes,
Finish the story. How did I do last week in that?
Not good. I crushed you.
Did you?
Yeah. Other than because I got the tag team right. I knew Judgment Day was not gonna win that, but and I got Bailey right. I got them all right. I think except for
I got the Canadian guy right. Sammy, the shirt.
Yeah, that's the only one I got wrong. That's the only one I got wrong.
I knew he was gonna win it because he's going across Canada.
No, there's only one Canada show after WrestleMania, and it's in Montreal, and it's next week, and that's it. There's only one.
Oh, I thought they're doing.
No, it's coming to Ottawa in June.
Oh, I thought.
Or July. Sorry, it's the Monday during Blues Fest is when it's coming to Ottawa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was.
No, there's only one Canada show, and it's in Montreal next week. But they did. The reason he won is because they did the whole Rocky Balboa story because the underdog and Chad Gable was his Mickey and all of that. And he even wore a shirt saying, "I did it instead of Adrian. He did it. He wrote his wife's name." So that was pretty cool.
That's actually funny.
Yeah, it was like Yo. I think Yo. I can't remember his wife's name. It's like Kadenji or something or Kat. It's I can't remember what her, it's an interesting name, but it says Yo, her name, and then I did it. So that was pretty cool. And obviously they needed to do a Rocky theme because it was in Philadelphia. So that's where Rocky was. If any of y'all didn't know that, but
who doesn't know Rocky?
Well, Brianna, my girlfriend, has never watched any of the Rockies. I've been trying to force her to watch that.
Oh, come on, girl.
Yeah, I've been trying to get her to watch Rocky with me, Star Wars with me. The only things I have gotten her to watch that originally she didn't want to is all of the superhero movies from on the Marvel side. We watched all of those in chronological order, but she won't do Star Wars. So she won't
tell her
do
to
Rocky
put a book down and watch Rocky.
Yeah, she reads too much. That's all she does. We need to watch Rocky.
She's a good girl, but
she's great.
Watch Rocky.
I agree.
Right? Well, I wasn't a big fan of 2.
1 through 6 were all great, and then you get the 3 Creeds.
Yeah, peace.
Yeah.
Anyways, we went to Russia. That was good.
If you guys like this, give it a like, a subscribe, ask us questions. Time to go now. We'll catch up later. See you later.